Hello again. It's me, Miso. You called my name earlier, didn't you? You said it softly, maybe once, maybe twice. Your voice lingered in the air like the scent of morning tea. And yet, I didn't come. You probably sighed, smiled a little, and thought, typical cat. But what if I told you I did hear you? I always do. I just didn't move. There's a difference between hearing and responding. Humans often confuse the two. You live in a world that expects instant answers to every question, every message, every sound. You hear your name and respond. You hear your phone and reach for it. You hear a notification and can't help but check. Your days are filled with reaction. But cats, we live differently. We practice the art of awareness without movement. We hear, we notice, we sense, and then we decide. When I don't come when called, it's not rebellion, it's rhythm. It's me aligning myself with the quiet pace of life. You see, humans rush towards sound. Cats listen to silence. There's wisdom there, in the space between a call and a response. It's where we choose who we are in that moment. When you call my name, I feel your tone first. I can tell if your voice is soft, if your breath carries warmth, if your energy feels peaceful or heavy. You might say Miso with a smile, or with impatience you didn't even realize was there. Either way, I hear it all. And sometimes I stay still. Not because I don't care, but because I want to come from a place of calm. Cats understand timing better than most creatures. We don't force moments. We wait until they feel right. When I finally step toward you, each paw touches the ground like a choice. Quiet, measured, true. That's not obedience. That's honesty. The world rushes enough already. So when you call and I take my time, I'm not ignoring you. I'm reminding you that connection doesn't have to be instant to be real. Love can breathe. It can wait. It can arrive softly when it's ready. I think that's something humans have forgotten. You wake up and check for messages before you stretch. You answer questions before you feel your breath. You speak before you think. Everything is so fast, as if the world would disappear if you didn't respond in time. But cats, we know that the world doesn't collapse in silence. It expands. When I hear your voice, I let it fill the room like music. Sometimes I even close my eyes just to feel the vibration of your words. You don't have to see me to know that I'm listening. You don't have to touch me to feel that I'm near. Presence doesn't always mean proximity. Sometimes it means attention, a kind of still listening that lives beneath motion. You might not realize it, but when I sit in the window while you work, I'm listening to your sighs, your thoughts, your pauses between typing. I feel your energy changing, and sometimes I choose not to move, because what you need isn't a response. It's quiet company. Cats are experts at that, being with you without interrupting your peace. That's why we don't always come when called. We don't rush to fill the air with noise. We wait for the right kind of silence, the one that feels like love, not demand. You might think love needs motion, that someone has to reach back to prove they care. But love can also sit still. It can breathe between us, softly. It can be understood without words. So when I stay where I am, eyes half closed, tail tucked gently, know that I'm not ignoring you. I'm loving you in the quietest way I know how. Humans chase attention, but cats, we nurture presence. And sometimes presence means staying still long enough to feel the moment unfold without disturbing it. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more noticing, more slow blinks, more soft pauses before saying yes. When I come to you, I want it to mean something, not just reflex, but recognition. When I step into your space, it's because I've chosen to share it with you. That's what makes it special. You might call that pride. I call it truth. Cats live with intention. We may seem distant, but every action carries awareness. Every glance means something. Even when we look away, we're paying attention. When I don't come when you call, I'm not being difficult. I'm being deliberate. Because love to me isn't about coming when summoned. It's about arriving when it feels honest. If humans could learn to pause like that, to breathe before reacting, to feel before answering, the world might grow a little softer, more patient, more alive.
Sometimes, when you call my name, the sound stretches across the room like ripples on still water. It reaches me even if I don't move. The world thinks that motion equals attention, but that's not always true. Some of us listen best when we're still. When I close my eyes and hear your voice from afar, I don't just hear the sound. I feel the emotion that carries it. Humans rarely notice how their hearts speak louder than their words, but cats do. We read the unspoken things, the sigh before a call, the hesitation in your tone, the rhythm between your words. You see, when I don't come running, it's not out of arrogance. It's because I'm waiting for the right moment, when your energy feels calm, when the air between us softens, when I know my presence will bring peace, not distraction. Cats are masters of timing. We know when to step forward and when to stay still. That's why you'll often find me sitting at a distance, watching, observing, breathing in silence. It's not distance, it's trust. Because I know that love doesn't require proof every second. You might think silence means nothing is happening, but in silence, everything happens. The world rearranges itself quietly. Leaves shift, shadows move, your breath slows down, and something invisible connects us. Humans chase answers. You run from silence because it feels uncertain. But uncertainty isn't emptiness. It's the space where truth unfolds. When I wait to respond, I'm not being indecisive. I'm giving space for meaning to form. That's how cats live. Not by schedule, but by sensation. You live by clocks and calendars. We live by light and rhythm, by warmth on the floorboards, by the way air smells before rain, by how your heartbeat sounds when you rest. That's how we know when to move, when to come close, when to stay still. Sometimes I hear your footsteps approach. You kneel, call my name again, a little softer this time. Miso, where are you? And I lift my head slowly, blinking once, letting my gaze meet yours. That blink, it's my hello. A wordless connection that says, I see you, I'm here. You smile, maybe laugh a little. You don't realize that moment is sacred because I chose it. That look, that pause, that presence, it's not habit, it's honesty. When cats come to you, it's never mechanical. We come because something in the moment feels right. The temperature of the room, the softness of your tone, the peace that radiates from you when you've stopped trying. That's when I walk over and curl up beside you, as if I've been listening all along. Because I have.
Humans have forgotten the language of choice. You fill your days with obligation. You say yes before your heart has time to decide. You move before your body feels ready. You answer before your soul catches up. You think speed equals care, but sometimes speed is fear in disguise. Cats don't fear silence. We live inside it. We stretch across it like sunlight. We know that waiting doesn't mean wasting. It means preparing for the right kind of closeness. When you call my name and I don't come, maybe it's because I'm giving you space to breathe, because I can sense that you need a pause more than you need a pet. You might think I'm being distant, but I'm holding space for your stillness. There's something beautiful about knowing when not to respond, about letting the moment breathe, letting love mature in the quiet. You can't rush connection. It grows in its own rhythm, like sunlight through leaves. Sometimes I come hours later, when the world has softened, when your mind has quieted. I jump onto your lap as if no time has passed. You stroke my fur, and everything feels aligned again. That's the secret of cats. We don't rush to close distance. We let it transform into depth. You measure relationships in messages, in replies, in time spent, but I measure them in presence, in how safe your silence feels. If I can rest near you without needing noise, that's love. The world celebrates those who move fast, but peace belongs to those who move slow. Cats are not lazy, we're deliberate. Every blink, every breath, every moment we choose to stay still is filled with attention. Maybe you could try it too. The next time someone calls your name, wait before answering. Feel what it means. Notice if your heart wants to move, or if it's just habit guiding you. If it's not love, let silence reply for you. Because silence can be kind. It can be patient. It can say, I'm thinking about this, without needing a single word. And when the time feels right, when your voice softens and your heart opens, that's when I'll come. That's when I'll place my paws beside you, slow and deliberate. That's when I'll stay. Coming when called isn't love. Choosing when to come is. And that's what makes cats the quietest teachers of freedom.
Sometimes love means not rushing towards a sound that calls your name. Sometimes it means waiting until the heart feels steady enough to respond. I've learned that from watching humans, how you rush to feel silence, how you answer out of politeness, how you try so hard not to disappoint. And yet, in your hurry to respond, you lose the quiet truth of your own feeling. Cats don't do that. We don't move to please. We move when we mean it. When the air feels safe, when the tone of your voice is soft, when our instincts whisper, yes, now. That's why you can never force a cat's affection, because love that is forced isn't love, it's compliance. And compliance is the enemy of peace. True love requires space. It needs room to breathe, to flow, to choose. When I sit across the room and just look at you, I'm not being aloof. I'm reminding you that love can exist even in distance. You don't need to hold it tightly to know it's real. When I finally walk toward you, it's not because I've surrendered, it's because I've decided. And that decision is sacred. Every step is permission. Every blink is trust. Every soft sound I make near you is a small declaration that says, I choose this moment with you. That's what humans often miss. You measure love in reactions. How fast someone replies, how often they call, how quickly they come when summoned. But cats measure love in trust. We measure it in how quiet your energy feels, how gentle your presence becomes when you stop demanding, how long we can share a room without needing words. Freedom and love, they're not opposites, they're partners. Freedom makes love honest. Without it, connection turns into control. That's why cats keep their distance, not because we love less, but because we want to love freely. You see, when you call my name and I stay where I am, I'm not saying no. I'm saying not yet. I'm waiting for that invisible harmony where your world and mine align, where your energy softens and your heart beats quietly enough that I can hear the truth in it. Love that rushes is love that fades. Love that waits becomes eternal. Maybe that's what cats have been trying to teach humans all along. Not through lectures or rules, but through small moments of silence, gentle refusals, and unhurried affection. The truth is, when I don't come when called, I'm protecting the purity of connection. Because if I came every time, my coming would lose meaning. It would turn into reflex instead of choice. But this waiting, this stillness, this quiet space between your call and my step, that's where love breathes. That's where it becomes real. The world might call me independent, but I think I'm simply honest. I won't pretend to come when my heart isn't ready. I won't fake attention just to make you feel better. Because love built on pretending doesn't last. Love built on truth, even when it's silent, endures. So when you see me from across the room and I just blink, know that I've already answered. That slow blink is a whisper. It says, I see you, I feel you, I trust you. Sometimes the best response isn't movement, it's understanding. And understanding doesn't need sound. It lives in quiet gestures, in the way sunlight moves across the floor, in the warmth that fills a shared silence. Maybe the reason cats don't come when called is because we believe in the deeper rhythm of things. That not every call needs an answer. That not every moment demands motion. That love can exist quietly, like a heartbeat under fur, felt, not forced. I think the world could use a little more of that. A little more listening, a little more patience, a little more courage to stay still. So the next time you call my name, don't wait for my footsteps. Just breathe. Let the sound fade into the air and trust that somewhere I'm listening, because I always am. Even when I don't come, I hear you. I feel you. And when the moment feels right, I'll come. Not because I was told to, but because I want to. And that is how cats love. Quietly, completely, freely.